Hey everyone, this is Mr. K, and today we're going to go over solving for a side using SOHCAHTOA. So I have a right triangle here. Make sure that you always have a right triangle when you're going to use SOHCAHTOA. So let's pretend that they told us that angle D is equal to 27 degrees, and let's say that they told us that the side F is going to be 32. So to label this, I'm just going to write this angle in here is 27 degrees. Now little f is always the side opposite big F, so this will be 32. We'll give it a unit, we'll say feet. So now let's say that I want to solve for side E. What you need to do is, using the angle that was given, and you can find the other angle if you want, because there's 180 degrees in a triangle, but I'm just going to use the angle that's given to me. If I'm using this angle, I know that 32 is going to be my hypotenuse. I know that little e is going to be my adjacent. So if I have adjacent and hypotenuse, when I go to SOHCAHTOA, I see that that should be C. So that means I'm going to want to take the cosine of that angle. Just be aware, because if you're using the other angle, you're not going to use cosine, because then if you're using this angle up here, e would be opposite. 32 would still be hypotenuse, so if you're going to use this angle, you'd use sine. So I'm going to write this out as the cosine of 27 degrees is going to be equal to my adjacent, which is E, divided by my hypotenuse, which is 32. And now I just need to solve for E. The way to do that would be, I want to get E by itself, so I want to move the 32. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 32 because I'm dividing by 32. And the opposite of division is multiplication. So now I have 32 times the cosine of 27 degrees equals little e. And now it's just a matter of, can you type this into your calculator? So if I do that, and the one thing to make sure is make sure you're in degree mode. So if I have my calculator here, look for the mode button here near the top, and then make sure that degree is highlighted. So if degree is not highlighted, you're not going to get the correct answer. So then I'll type into my calculator 32 times cosine of 27 degrees, and you should get little e to be about 28.51. One other example that I'll do is, let's say we have a similar triangle, D, E, F. Only now instead, let's say that angle E is, we'll say 54 degrees, and we'll say that little e is 8 inches. And let's say that I want to find or solve for letter F. So again, I'm going to label this out here. My angle E is 54 degrees. My side E is 8, and I'm looking for F. So I can set it up similarly. If I'm using this angle, my 8 is going to be my opposite. My F is my hypotenuse, so I have opposite and hypotenuse. And so I want to use sine. So now to write this out, I would have the sine of 54 degrees is going to be equal to my opposite, which is 8, divided by my hypotenuse, which is little f. And one thing to make sure of is that, like, what some students like to do is they'll like to divide both sides by 8 or multiply both sides by 8 to get f by itself. You can't do that because f is in the denominator. So what you need to do is you need to get f out of the denominator. So in order to do that, if I want to solve for f, I'm going to multiply both sides by little f. And what that does is it's going to cancel that out here, and you're left with f times the sine of 54 degrees equals 8. And now you should be able to solve for f. So if I'm multiplying f by sine of 54, I need to get rid of the sine of 54 because I want to isolate f. So I'm going to divide both sides by the sine of 54 degrees. Because the sine of 54 degrees is still just a number. So then those will equal 1, so those will go away. And then you'll have f equals 8 divided by the sine of 54 degrees. Again, just make sure your calculator is in degree mode. So if I bring my calculator back here, now I want to do 8 divided by the sine of 54. And you should get 9.89, we'll say. And so that's how you can use SOHCAHTOA to solve for a side. Thank you. Have a great day.